Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever this webinar finds you. We are appreciative of your time and thank you for joining us. Greetings from Skidmore College in Saratoga Springs. My name is Darren Drabeck. I am Associate Director of Admissions and Coordinator of International Student Recruitment here at Skidmore College. I'm joined by a couple of our current students who will introduce themselves shortly, and we are here to give you an overview of applying to Skidmore College as an international student and answer your questions about Skidmore and campus life, academic life, student life here at Skidmore College. So thank you again for joining us. Again, we will be recording this program and sharing it with you after the event, should you like to watch it again or share it with somebody else interested in applying to Skidmore College. Um, so Skidmore is a diverse learning community of undergraduate students. We are an all undergraduate learning community of about 2,700, a little over 2,700 undergraduate students. Students come to Skidmore from all over the world and all over the United States. An all undergraduate student learning community means that all of the resources, all of the facilities, all of the science laboratories, the theater space, the music performance spaces, all of them are for your use as an undergraduate student. You are not sharing any of these resources with graduate students, PhD students, and our faculty teach every single one of our classes taught here at Skidmore College. And again, our students will share more about what that means and how that is important to be an all undergraduate learning community. As large as we are, with about 2,700 students or more, we do keep our class sizes small, and we do keep the academic experience an intimate one. Our average class size is only 16 students, and our student to faculty ratio is half of that at only 8 to 1. About 14% of our students are members of our international student community, again, coming to Skidmore from all over the world and coming with many life experiences, different educational experiences, coming to Skidmore College. Our international students are very much leaders here on our campus and enjoy the opportunities to share experiences with other students from all over the world, all over the United States. Some of our most active student clubs popular amongst international students include the International Student Union and Asian Culture Awareness Club, our Student Government Association as well, the African Heritage Awareness Club, and many, many more. Something that is a bit distinctive and sets Skidmore apart is our broad academics and the breadth in our academic curriculum. Skidmore College is a bit distinctive as a top tier small liberal arts and sciences college that awards the Bachelor of Arts degrees and the Bachelor of Science degrees. Most of our majors do lead to a Bachelor of Arts degree, but several of our majors are more pre-professional in their scope and do lead to the Bachelor of Science degree. One of those includes our very popular management and business major, but also includes majors such as education studies that will prepare students and certify students to teach at the end of 4 years. We also have a very pre-professional major in social work, another one in health and human physiological sciences, and our studio art major, our dance major, and our theater majors all lead to the Bachelor of Science degree here at Skidmore. Many of our degrees are STEM qualifying majors here at the college. In fact, about 30% of our students at Skidmore will major in the STEM fields, in science and math and technology. We have a partnership with Dartmouth College and Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute for engineering at Skidmore. Our economics degree here at Skidmore is a Bachelor of Arts degree, and it is a STEM eligible degree, which does have some very positive implications for international students who wish to find employment after Skidmore in the United States using OPT. It's very popular at Skidmore to double major or to graduate with a major-minor combination. In fact, over half of our students will graduate with some type of combination in majors or minors or a double major. Skidmore is a community that really encourages students to do both and to explore everything that you're passionate about. And you don't have to give up one passion in order to explore another. And that's why our double majors and major minor combinations are very popular amongst our students. The breadth in our curriculum also is showcased in some of the more popular majors at Skidmore. English and business are two of the most popular majors, and psychology is typically a top three as well. Sometimes they're flip-flop in their one, two, and three order. But also studio art, biology is our most popular science major. Computer science is our second most popular science major. Political science is also a popular major here at the college. And that is very interesting for our students to see that the arts, the sciences, and a pre-professional program here at Skidmore, such as business, are three of our traditional strengths at Skidmore, and those are some of our most popular majors. We do strive to prepare our students for life after Skidmore in the professional world. 85% of our students will complete an internship before they graduate. That number is even higher for many of our international students, especially students wishing to settle in the United States after graduation. Students may have 2, 3, or 4 internships before they graduate. 75% of our students who graduate have had more than 2 internships along the way. And we have very strong guidance for our international students, starting with an international student orientation in the August before you even start your first semester at Skidmore, all the way through the guidance that will prepare you for internships in the summertime between your years at Skidmore, curricular practical training, as well as optional practical training, postgraduate optional practical training in the United States. We have 2 full-time international student advisors that work very closely with our international students throughout their years. We are delighted and really enjoy our campus and the campus surroundings here at Skidmore. This is only a partial view of the college that you'll see in this image in front of you, but you can see how we are surrounded by immense natural beauty and take great care and care for the sustainability of our campus and our surroundings. We are just on the northern edge of Saratoga Springs and a beautiful city that our students do enjoy. But we are a self-contained campus, a very safe campus for our students to enjoy. 90% of our students live on campus every year, and we guarantee housing for all 4 years of our students that wish to live on campus and live at Skidmore and study at Skidmore. And you can see some of our residence halls and some of our academic buildings in this image right in front of you. You can see the foothills of the Adirondack Mountains just in the near distance. We are about 20 minutes by car from the southern border of the Adirondack State Park, which is the largest state park in the United States. So incredible natural resources that surround our campus here in Saratoga Springs. And our location in Saratoga Springs is certainly a unique aspect of the Skidmore experience. This is a small, safe city that is popular in the United States, most popular as a summer resort community and popular for the arts and the culture and the vacation community that exists here in Saratoga Springs. As you start to do research about Saratoga Springs, you will learn about very famous horse racing that takes place here every summer. The oldest horse racing in the United States takes place in Saratoga Springs every year. And hundreds of thousands of people will come and visit Saratoga Springs. In fact, 1 million people came to the horse racing track itself during June, July, and August when the horse racing is active in Saratoga Springs. We are located only 3.5 hours from Montreal, Canada, New York City, New York, and Boston, Massachusetts, and very easy to get to these cities by public transportation or by private transportation. Any student can have a car on campus. Even some international students will have vehicles on campus, but about half of our students do have cars, so it's easy to find a ride somewhere, whether that's locally or whether that's to one of the other surrounding cities or areas for a weekend trip or for one of the vacations. We do have an Amtrak station right here in Saratoga Springs with train service to Montreal or to New York City. And Albany, New York, the state capital of New York, is only about 30 minutes from our campus, and the Amtrak station in Albany has several trains a day to New York City, so it's very easy to get to other cities from Albany. But most students don't feel like, and we'll talk to our students in a bit about needing to leave Saratoga Springs for anything. It has everything that our college students want and everything our Skidmore students enjoy. And our students are welcomed here. Our students are treated like residents in Saratoga Springs. This is a city that has a history of welcoming visitors, and our students are kind of that mix between a visitor and a resident because you're here for 4 years. People get to know you, you get to know the community, and that is important to our students. Our students really do enjoy Saratoga Springs. So a little bit about applying to Skidmore. We certainly, you might be preparing already your common application or your coalition application to apply to Skidmore. Neither of those applications require a supplement, so we don't have any extra essays or extra supplements that we require as part of that application. And Skidmore College is SAT optional, ACT optional for over a decade now. And we believe that students can present their scholarship and their preparation for the Skidmore experience with over the arch of your academic career, over the 4 years perhaps of your academic career, and not just in one sitting of an exam. So any student can apply to Skidmore College with or without the SAT or the ACT. We will certainly review your SAT or ACT score as part of your application if you wish to submit it, but your application is complete without it. We will require either the Duolingo, the TOEFL exam, or the IELTS exam if English is not your first language and not the language of instruction across all of your secondary years. The Duolingo English test is probably the easiest one to access and the quickest one to send to us. And those scores can be self-reported on your application or very easily adding Skidmore to your Duolingo dashboard of your application. We don't require admission interviews. We don't offer interviews with our staff or with alumni, but we do welcome the opportunity for students to share a recorded interview through either Initial View or Vericant video interviews. Those will be reviewed if you choose to submit one with your application. It's not required. And many students are offered admission every year without one of these videos. But if you're doing these for other colleges and you only have to do them once, do one of them, and then you can send it to any university to which you're applying. It's not specific to your Skidmore application. It is about you, and it is an opportunity for you to share more about you in your own voice. Tell us your stories. And we appreciate that. It does not have to be the perfect interview. We just want it to be authentically you, and that is important to us. And so we welcome those. You can submit those even before you've submitted your application to Skidmore, and we welcome that. Any point before the application deadline, you can submit one of these interviews if you have them, and they're easy to set up. Just go to their websites and set those up. A little bit about our admission deadlines and our admission processes. We have two types of applications that students can submit, either early decision or regular decision. And both of our early decision rounds, we have two rounds of early decision. Both are a binding application, so students are indicating that they will enroll at Skidmore if they are offered admission through early decision. And we give you the flexibility of two early decision deadlines with both the same type of review, and there is no difference between the two other than the dates. November 1st is the first deadline, and then January 8th, which is the same deadline as our regular decision application, is our deadlines for early decision. And in both cases, students will receive an admission decision within a few weeks, less than a month from the application deadline for early decision. And it's a popular option for our students. About half of our students at Skidmore College enrolled at Skidmore through early decision, and Skidmore was their top choice. So when you're walking around campus, every other student that you may meet may have enrolled at Skidmore through early decision. Last year, we received over 12,000 applications for a first year class of about 700 students and offered admission to less than a quarter of the students who applied. So it is a very selective application process for us. And that will probably be the case next year, about the same. We do use the CSS profile for financial aid applications, and we have that option and that is an application that you complete once and you can send to any other university that accepts the CSS profile for use of consideration for need-based financial aid. And that must be submitted at the time of application. You must indicate that you're applying for need-based financial aid when you apply for admission. If a student qualifies for financial aid and they are offered admission, we will meet your full need and we'll offer that and give you that information at the exact same time that you are given your admission decision if offered admission. And we will, our average financial aid for all of our students is about half of the cost of attendance. And so the average student is contributing about half of the cost of attendance, and then need-based financial aid could support the other half if family qualifies. We do have 2 merit scholarship opportunities for any student who wishes to apply. 2 programs with many scholarships within those programs. And those are both required to apply by the application deadline. One is in the field of science and mathematics, and the other is in the field of music performance. Each has its own special application in addition to the admission application, and you can find that information on our website under Merit Scholarships. And they are each worth $20,000 per year, renewable for all 4 years. They must be applied for at the time when you apply for admission, and a faculty committee will review for those applications. The music scholarship does require an in-person audition here on campus in the month of March. The science and math merit scholarship does not require any in-person commitment, but the music scholarship does. The neat thing about the music scholarship, I think, is that you do not have to major in music. You are not required to major in music to earn the scholarship or retain the scholarship, but you do have to remain involved in the music department somehow. But if you're as talented of a musician as those scholars are, it's not a tough decision to remain involved in music here at Skidmore. And that is a moment there for me to stop talking a little bit, and I want our students who are joining us to Katya and Paladin to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about what you're studying here at Skidmore. And then we would love to turn to the attendees and questions here, and we can use the Q&A feature and the Q&A function, and you can type in your questions there. We can answer them live or we can answer them typed. So as you think of questions, as you already have them, feel free to enter them into the Q&A feature and we will get to those. But Katya, do you want to start and introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about where you're from, what you're studying, and then I'll start with a few questions for you before we get to our participant questions. So go ahead.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Katya. I'm currently a rising senior here at Skidmore. I'm originally from Minsk, Belarus. I double major in psychology and theater with a minor in business. I'm also very involved with research on campus, primarily through a clinical psychology lab, and I'm actually doing some research here over the summer. I also work in the writing center as the head tutor, and in the past, I've also been involved in our musical theater club, primarily as a director. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Nice, thank you. Paladin.
Hi everyone, my name is Paladin. I am from Bhutan, and I don't know if some of you guys are familiar, but I'm also a UWC grad. I went to UWC Pearson College, and I am an econ and business double major, possibly thinking of a minor in anthropology as well. On campus, I'm involved with a couple of clubs. As Darren mentioned earlier, I am part of the International Student Union e-board. I also am part of the Hayat e-board. Hayat is like the South Asian club on campus. And then I do occasionally interact with the Asian Awareness Club on campus as well. And I currently work in the econ department as a student assistant. And over the summer, I'm working with admissions and the museum here on campus, which is called the Tang Museum.
Nice. Great. Thank you. Maybe for starters, and you both mentioned you are double majors and even with a minor thrown in there. I'd love to hear, and Katya, you're got a couple years on Paladin in your experience. How do you balance that? Is a double major double the work, double everything, or what is that balance like?
Um, I mean, honestly, like it's pretty manageable, especially like, for me because I love learning. I love just like doing a lot of things all at once. And so, yeah, it's I don't know, like they are pretty different. Like my majors, like psychology is more on the like the sciencey part, and theater on the is on more of the like creative part. So like they just like engage, I guess, like different like parts of my brain and whatnot. So it just like helps me like to stay more well balanced. I mean, obviously, it means that like academic load is like pretty significant semester to semester, but I feel and I have felt like throughout, all of college that I'm like prepared for that. So yeah, but it's been really great and like it's been great to see how they complement each other really well as well. So yeah, because sometimes I would learn something in psychology and then that would help me to like lead the rehearsal room in theater and so on. So it's been pretty great.
And Paladin, I liked what you said. I might be an anthropology minor. What is that? Have you taken one class and that really was interesting to you in addition to your economics and your business? So tell us about kind of learning. And did you ever take an anthropology class before Skidmore? Probably not. Or did you?
No, no, I didn't. So as I'm a rising sophomore, I still do not have to declare my major. So I still have like time to decide what I really want to study. But I've already declared my major in econ. And I was looking at the requirements, and you need like 120 credits to like graduate. And that's like a lot of credits. Like you could like easily manage like a double major thing. So initially I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do economics and see if I can take like, other classes on the side. And then I realized like I could easily like with all of the credits that I've already gathered for economics, I'm like on track to like graduate in economics very easily. So I was like, maybe I can just throw in a business major as well because it really aligns with economics. As for anthropology, I took an anthropology class in the spring semester, really connected with the professor, really liked my class. It was called Perspectives in Asia. I did it to fulfill one of my all college requirements, but along the way, I realized that I really do enjoy studying about anthropology and all. And I talked to the professor, and he was like, if you can't manage it as a major, because I've already like decided my double major, he was like, you could do it as a minor and see if you really like it. So that's why I was like, maybe a minor in anthropology just for like the funsies.
Hmm. That's great. And I said this earlier, Skidmore is a community that does not force students to give up one passion in exchange for another. This is a community, and our students will read about this as you learn more about Skidmore. This is a community that really encourages you to do both, to have both. As Katya said, to engage in both your creative side and your science side of your brains. And students are able to really able to. We see that every day in our community. Another reminder, please type in your questions if you have them, and we would love to answer your questions for those who are attending on the webinar here today, and answer your questions about anything about Skidmore, applying to Skidmore, academic programs, student life, campus life, Saratoga Springs, anything you'd like to have us answer. Katya, do you think did you come to Skidmore thinking it was going to be theater psychology? Those were your top two interests. What was that approach like to your first year here?
Well, I came in knowing that I want to do psychology, so like my psychology major has been like pretty set since high school.
Mhm.
And then I was doing theater all throughout high school, and like I knew that like in college I would still like want to like be involved, but I didn't like like necessarily see myself as a major or even a minor. But then I did the theater pre-orientation program here,
Hmm.
like absolutely like fell in love with the people, with the department, and like by October of my first year, I was like, oh, like I want to like do it as a major. So that's my path like in like that way. And then my business minor honestly just like came in from this year. So as a junior, like I started like taking business classes and I really like them. And so it's been a very like recent development. I haven't even like declared it yet. So yeah.
That's all right. That's right. And Paladin, how about you? Was it kind of economics from day one, at least as one of your interests, and why? What just tell us a little bit why that was curious to you.
I took like economics in high school, so I did like IB economics, and that's when I really started like that was like the first time I ever took economics. That's when I realized that like I really like economics. So I was like, even when I was submitting my application for Skidmore, I think like I asked for one of the letter of recommendations from my economics teacher, and I told him like just write that I am fully like interested in economics and I will take economics at Skidmore. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to take business as a major because I was like maybe it's gonna be too repetitive. But after coming here, I realized because like Skidmore is known for like the business program here, I was like, might as well just take the opportunity. The business classes sound really fun. And I feel like it really does prepare me for like post grad employment opportunities, especially because I want to go into the field of like finance, banking, like investment banking and stuff. And I realized that a bit like a business degree would also be like a good addition to that.
Yeah.
But also along the way, I was like, what if I come across another major that I really like? And that was anthropology for me. So it's like, I might continue taking anthropology classes because it really doesn't need a lot of classes to qualify as a minor. And I feel like with 120 credits, like, that you need to graduate, like you could easily do that.
Yeah. And just to kind of break that down, 120 credits, most of our classes are either 4 credit or 3 credit classes. So that could be, 40 classes or 30 classes. And most of our minors, to satisfy a minor in a department, the the it's about 6 classes I think in most departments, and so yeah, it's just one class every other semester even in some of your time here. That's great. um, Good. Let me quickly get to a couple questions that were asked. One I can answer pretty quickly about a fee waiver for the CSS profile. So instead of a fee waiver for the CSS profile, we do have a second kind of international student financial aid application, and that is a free one, and it's a form that will be embedded in your application portal for students to complete if they wish to instead of the CSS profile. So after you apply for admission, and if you did not submit the CSS profile with your application, you will automatically see a in your checklist items for your application another alternative form, and that is free and that is fine. A great question about the cost of living in the area compared to other regions. You guys want to let's talk a little bit about Saratoga Springs, and is it does it what is just kind of around here living here. I've certainly living on campus is included in the cost of attendance. So eating on campus, we have a beautiful dining hall, an amazing dining hall for students to enjoy. But all of the eating and the living on campus is included in the cost of attendance. But how about off campus and in the area? Do you guys find it? You can stretch your dollar. It's affordable. Things you can do with your own spending money. You guys want to talk a little bit? Maybe Katya, do you want to start, and then we get Paladin's
Oh,
opinion too?
yeah, I mean, honestly, like Saratoga, like it's a pretty like big town, so like you can find a lot of things like kind of like depending on how much like money you have. Like like there are like some like incredibly expensive restaurants, but there are also like restaurants that are just like would be like as like as inexpensive as like any other like restaurant in any other town. So it's really, yeah, there are a lot of different options because again, it's like there's a lot of like people who like come in through the town throughout the year, so kind of like options for everyone. And there's also, I mean, there's so much to do for free, like you can just like like walk around, even like walking around or like going to the park is like free. So like I rarely like spend money if I just want to like like go out. Sometimes there are like outdoor like performances that are free and so on. So yeah, but I wouldn't say that like it's crazy expensive. It's more kind of like like if you're looking for fine dining, if like you're like with your parents for like the day, like there are options. If you're looking to just like go out somewhere with your friends, there are options. So yeah.
Even for me, Saratoga Springs was like the first city I ever visited in the US. I was living in Canada and Australia before that. So I think like it just felt like more expensive in general, like everywhere in the US compared to like all of the places that I've lived in. People do say that like Saratoga Springs, like it tends to be like a bit or more on like the expensive side because it's like a smaller city. But also at the same time, I really did not find it difficult to like find the right places to like go out and have a good meal. And as Katya mentioned, like because like there's like so many places you could easily find a place that's like within your budget. And yeah, there's like a lot of good restaurants downtown. I think like I went out with my friends almost like fortnightly, and it's not difficult because you're also working on campus. Like you get campus employment, so you can easily manage that as part of like your budgeting as well. So I think like it's all about like finding the places that are within your budget and also like the right places. And it's not been that difficult for me to manage so far.
Yeah, good. What, just thinking about the last couple of weeks, what have you done in Saratoga Springs off campus that you would share? Either of you or both of you?
Okay, from the last couple of weeks, I went to Uncommon twice in the last couple of weeks. That's
Tell us what uncommon is.
Yeah, Uncommon Grounds is just like a coffee shop, a very great coffee shop, very popular with our students and with just like the Saratoga community. So yeah, I did go there twice. Once just with my friend, and then we sat. There's like a park right outside of it. We sat in the park and just like like had our bagels and had a nice chat. And then the second time I went was right before the graduation. Just a bunch of my friends um, and I went to Uncommon and then went to see the seniors graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alden, how about you? Any Saratoga
Uh,
stories recently?
I've been going to this ramen place, a Japanese ramen place called Ume Ramen, I think.
Yeah, it's newer. Yeah.
Yeah, I was told that it opened recently. We went there once. It was so good that my friends and I we were like, we're going back again. So I went there twice. I also went to Uncommon Grounds once.
Nice.
It's like a really popular choice for students. It's like you get off the bus and it's right there. So it's like a lot of students go there to study. I really like the bagels there. So I did go to Uncommon Grounds during the past couple of weeks, especially during senior week and all, like right after exams.
Yeah, good. And I encourage anyone from afar to use Google Maps or whatever map preference you have, and you can really explore the street view of Saratoga Springs. You can do the street view and kind of pretend like you're walking on the sidewalk from our main entrance of campus all the way into downtown. You will see the big, beautiful homes that surround our campus. Is a very safe, immediate neighborhood to our campus, and it's only about a 10-minute walk from campus to the edge of the first shop, the first store, the first restaurant in downtown Saratoga Springs. And so it is a quite walkable community. We do have a free bus service that makes loops around the community. Faculty, staff, students can use our Skidmore ID cards to ride the bus. And the bus also, after stopping downtown, goes directly to Walmart, the box stores, a Home Depot, a grocery store, a Target, a shopping mall, a Best Buy, major chain stores, Chipotle restaurants as well. And so you can get there by bus very easily from campus, and that makes it easy for our students to get around as well. A great question about being how common is it for students to double major or combine STEM fields with the arts? Do you guys want to share, Katya, in addition to your experience, certainly with psychology, theater, but some other, and either of you, some other anecdotes of friends that you know who have some combination interests, and whether that's officially a double major or maybe you don't even know, it might be a major and a minor, it might just be they like to do both. What are some other stories you would share?
Um, I mean, I know a lot about like the people in the theater department, obviously, but oh, I mean, I've also heard of like there are like dance majors for some reason, like always like double major in STEM. Not like always,
Mhm.
but like it's been like such a like common trend. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. But and then like studio art majors. I know. I mean, some of my like psychology friends are also like studio art majors. Um, but within theater, we have theater and neuroscience combination. We have theater and physics combination.
Mhm.
Theater and psychology is like incredibly popular as well. So yeah, some chemistry and like yeah, and like a lot of them are like declared double majors, and a lot of them are just like like for example like are very involved in the theater department and then like doing like STEM as well. So I think like whatever like combination it is, and like whatever is like officially declared like doesn't really like matter here, because like everyone is accepted in like all departments, like everyone can use like all the resources, and so but yeah, but it's really common. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe, and Paladin, you're in your first year, if I can pose this to you, and then Katja, you can chime in as well. But talking about how international students are advised in terms of course selection or adjusting to the academic culture, do you feel like you got some advice about that? Maybe tell us a little bit about international student orientation or some of the international student advising as well.
So one of the things is like before you even get to Skidmore, like after you enroll in Skidmore, you're assigned like an academic advisor. After you choose like your Scribner seminar, which is like a seminar you're required to take as a freshman on campus. Like, when you're having your first Zoom call with your advisor, like you do say, like, this is what I'm interested in. But you could also say, I have no clue what I want to study
Mhm.
and I don't know how to go about it. And that's when, like, the advisor will give you a couple of options. The first thing is you have all college requirements that you have to fulfill um, during your 4 years here. Some of them you have to complete it before your sophomore year. A lot of like freshman students, they do start right ahead with those all college requirements. There's like a writing class that you have to take. A lot of like freshman students, they take that during their first semester at Skidmore. I had a friend who like wanted to major in like biochemistry and stuff, but during her first semester freshman year, she was taking a bunch of random classes, like a K-pop dance class, like a Chinese language class. It was just a bunch of really random unique classes. And like like during your freshman year, really don't think you should worry about like what you think you should major in and stuff. Just like explore as many classes as possible. That's how I came to like love anthropology. Like if I'd never taken that class, if I'd just been like I just want to take econ and business classes, then I would have like missed on that opportunity to explore and like find a major that I really like. So for freshman year, I'd just say like take the pressure off of your head and just like take whatever classes you think sounds fun. You could take a bunch of intro classes like intro to psych, like there's like intro classes for economics. A lot of students do that. They take intro classes and try to figure out what they like. You can also interact with the professors a lot. That's how I realized that I really wanted to like study business as well. I talked to a couple of business professors. They have a really flexible office hours, so you can always like drop by their office and like learn more about the major and see if you really want to. But like as a freshman, I really don't think you should stress out about it. A lot of like freshmen haven't even declared their major. I just declared it in economics because like I knew I wanted to do it. But a
Yeah.
lot of like freshmen, like a lot of my friends haven't declared their major yet because they're like, I want to explore more classes and see if I like it.
Yeah. Did the thinking about your future, did the OPT STEM extension, the opportunity to potentially work for 3 years after you graduate with your student visa because it's a STEM degree, did that influence your decision to study, to have economics as one of your majors?
I initially didn't know that Skidmore considered
Hmm.
economics as a STEM degree. So I came here, like, I didn't even know what the OPT, CPT
Okay.
thing was when I applied for it. Like, I got to Skidmore and then I was like, oh, econ is like a STEM degree. I was like, okay, hooray. But I really didn't know that. But I do know a lot of international students who try to seek employment after Skidmore in the US. They do tend to like take like a STEM degree. And that's when like a lot of international students, they double major as well, like take a science degree and then like an arts degree as well.
Mhm.
I remember talking to a friend of mine who was, I think, majoring in physics and dance.
Mhm.
She said that like dance really just like takes her mind off of like physics, even for like, like momentarily and stuff, like, because like physics is like a lot of labs and like a lot of calculations and stuff. And she said that really helped to like take dance alongside like physics. Like it was like a really good mix for her mental health as well. And she was an international. And I know a lot of internationals who do that as well. They do
Yeah.
take like the science degree to like as part of like the OPT CPT
Mhm.
thing, where you get like 3 years after graduation. But you can also, as I said, easily double major and take another course that you really like if it's like part of the arts degree.
Yeah, no, it's a great observation. And Skidmore, as and Katja, you've been here so a few years. You've seen, and this is a very creative community. This is the arts are very strong at Skidmore. They certainly have been part of our tradition for nearly our entire college's history. But you don't have to be an artist to come to Skidmore, right? Nobody forces you to be involved in the arts, but it is there as a great option. Um, Katja, what do you like about that creative side of campus and the artistic side of campus, and maybe share some, a highlight from this recent semester of kind of what has really brought the arts alive to you, something you're maybe proud of to be part of the Skidmore community related to the arts.
Yeah. Well, what I like about this community being so artistic is that like there's always something to do like in terms of the arts. Like there like rarely goes a weekend without like a ton of like like music, dance, theater performances, like
Mhm.
studio art exhibitions, and just like students, because like artists like always like produce like artistic work. They obviously want to like display it and like invite their friends to like see it for the whole community. So it's just like a very like rich campus artistically to be at. And that also means that like like students have a lot of resources and opportunities to create art. Yeah, and as for me, yeah, so this past semester I was working on our main stage production in the theater department, so like kind of like the biggest production of the semester. I know, and it was just like very lovely because I got to work very closely with. I was the assistant director and dramaturg for that production, so I got to work really closely with the director and just learn from her, and yeah, and almost kind of like shadow her at all, like throughout the entire journey, which was like really helpful for me, especially as I'm looking into like my senior year and like directing a lot independently. So yeah, it's just been very cool. But yeah, definitely like arts is huge on
Yeah,
campus, and
yeah.
yeah, and I love it.
But nobody forces you to be involved in the arts, right?
No.
No, that's great. So you can be a non-artist and still be quite happy here at Skidmore. We do have an arts experience as part of our core curriculum and our breadth requirements, but we also have a science experience required, and a quantitative experience required, and social sciences and humanities and a language requirement. So we have a breadth of our. We want every student to have that experience and be exposed to the core liberal arts and sciences. But absolutely, you can be here and not be an artist, but absolutely, you can be here and be a very good artist and enjoy that as balance in your life. It does make for a very creative and fun environment too. Thousands of events on our campus every year. We have an amazing music center and a performing arts space. We have an incredible theater, both the main stage and the black box theater. Our newest building, one of our newest buildings, is our science center, our new Center for Integrated Sciences. So all of our sciences, including psychology, got new laboratory space, new classroom space. 20% of our students every year are engaging in collaborative research with our faculty. And I said that right after mentioning sciences, but also collaborative research is done outside the sciences. Collaborative research can be done in the humanities, in the social sciences for our students as well. But certainly the sciences and the STEM fields, students are engaging in research every year. This summer, we'll have students on campus enjoying that experience. You get a stipend for your research, you get paid to do research. It's like a summer job. You get free housing, free dining on campus as well during multiple weeks in the summer if you are selected for that or choose to apply for that. This question, I love this question a little bit more about our town or community, getting outside the campus bubble. You guys, reflect a little bit on something you've done recently in Saratoga, but just how easy is it to, to get off campus, to get outside the campus bubble?
I mean, I would say it's pretty easy, and also like sometimes like the campus bubble gets burst in from the outside. Like I know what I mean is that like a lot of community
Yeah,
members, come to see our shows, come to
right.
like all the time, like in like for music performances, for theater performances, and so on. Like there would be just like community members coming in like from Saratoga who like have like no affiliation with the college, but just want to see like very high quality shows. And so like there's an opportunity to chat with them and just like like engage with someone who's not a part of Skidmore.
Mhm.
Yeah, but then like as Darren mentioned, like the downtown is only like 10 to 15 minutes away from like just like by walking from campus. It's like very easy to get to. Like I take walks there all the time, or like the bus, or there's even like a free bike share system, so you can all students can just like get a bike from campus and drive downtown and like ride downtown, and then leave it just like right there because it's like stations all throughout Saratoga.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's pretty easy to get there. Like obviously it depends on like how busy I am with like academics and campus life. So like like sometimes I go more, sometimes I go less, but it's certainly very doable.
Yeah, I love that metaphor of, yes, the campus bubble gets burst from the outside. We have our beautiful Zankel concert hall, music building with the Filene Lad concert hall is here and very popular, seats over 600 people, and that is a very popular place for people in the community to enjoy and explore, and then also the theater productions, the music productions. Our own we have our own orchestra here at Skidmore. We also have a concert band. We also have a choir, and many members. Those have community members in them as well as Skidmore campus members in those groups. And this is again, if you explore our campus from a satellite image or the map system, you will see that we don't have walls and gates that surround our campus. This and I'm getting into our deep history of Skidmore College, but when this college campus was designed, there was this beautiful and articulate charge to the architects from our board of trustees at the time, and really actually highlighting the fact that they wanted this campus to be a part of the Saratoga Springs community, and they wanted people from that are non-students to enjoy our campus, whether everything from coming to productions and performances to walking their dogs on our campus and being part of the community. So we don't wish to erect those walls, metaphorical or otherwise, or physical. And even one of the most cherished resources on our campus property is the Northwoods. We have Northwoods property, which are our undeveloped wooded acreage on our campus with miles and miles, kilometers and kilometers of walking trails just adjacent to campus, and those can be enjoyed by anyone. Thousands of acres of land is also owned by Skidmore adjacent to campus, and a local mountain biking club maintains those trails as some of the best mountain biking trails in the region, and trail running facilities, and in the wintertime, snowshoeing and utilizing it in all four seasons. So there's some beautiful natural resources right here on our own property that the public is welcome to always. Um, a follow-up question, and the final one that we have in the chat right now is asking a little bit about coming from a different academic system. So maybe thinking about students finishing the A-level curriculum, where it's a very focused academic curriculum of just a few classes, or the international baccalaureate curriculum. And what was that transition like to Skidmore? Paladin, do you maybe want to share a little bit about what that, especially in the first year, and you've explored multiple subjects, but what was that transition like from high school to college?
I did the International Baccalaureate for high school, which is the IB diploma. And like, when you're doing the IB diploma, like a lot of people are like, oh, like, because you take the IB diploma, like your freshman year, your sophomore year in college will look like a lot easier because like, you do a lot of writing and with the IB. But I don't really think it necessarily matters whether you take the IB or not, because I feel like with the US, like the way the college system in the US works, it's not like, especially with like a liberal arts college, like you don't really have to take like hard classes, like, like you're not even allowed to take hard classes because you need to fulfill like the introductory classes and all. And those are not necessarily that hard. They're basically like a repetition of what you do in like high school. For example, if you're taking the intro to physics class, it's just going to be like physics that you've already done in grade 11 and 12, regardless of like what your background looks like. I feel like it's like pretty similar across like all boards like of like education backgrounds in a way, like IB diploma physics, and then like even like in Bhutan, like the type of physics we have back home, they're pretty similar.
Hmm.
So I would say like freshman year, because you're taking all of your intro classes, they're going to be pretty similar to like all of the high school classes you take as well, unless like you're taking something that's totally different, like
Right.
something that you've never taken in high school. Also, then it's not that difficult. Like professors are a lot more understanding when you're a freshman. They do realize like you just made like this huge jump, like this huge leap into college. And especially as an international, it does become a lot more difficult. And professors are always like understanding of that. So like I have had friends who said that like the college system in the US is a bit like, weird, like they don't really understand it. But also I've had friends who say that like it's like much easier to manage because you do get like the choice to like take whatever classes that you want to take. So as a freshman, it's basically just like intro classes,
Yeah.
and most of them are like just a repetition of what you did in high school, so it shouldn't be that difficult to manage.
Right.
But as like the years go on, it like the courses do get harder, and that just comes like as part of like being a college student. Like when you're a junior, senior, you do take like much harder classes.
Hmm. Yeah. And maybe as just a quick example, Paladin, if you can share, you took 4 classes this semester that just finished last
Mm.
week. What were those 4 classes, just to give us a sense of the diversity of it? And Katya, I'll have you just share yours too, because that'll be a little bit different as a junior. Yeah.
As someone in my second semester of freshman year, I decided that I wanted to fulfill my requirements. So I didn't take a single econ or business classes
Okay.
last spring semester. I took a dance class to fulfill my artistic requirement,
Mhm.
the arts requirement. I took my the writing class to fulfill the writing requirement.
Mhm.
I took the anthropology class, which was also fulfilling some requirements. And then I took a Korean language class to fulfill the language requirement as well. So I was just focused on like doing the requirements. It was a very chill semester, like classes that did not align with my major at all. But also I wasn't stressed out because like, I'm just a freshman. Like I have the opportunity to explore as many courses as I want.
Well, great example, language, arts, writing, which is fantastic. And Katya, now when you're a junior, you're in your majors. What were your classes this past spring semester?
Yeah, so I've already fulfilled all of my all college requirements. I did my last one. Um, in the fall with the language requirement, but like otherwise they're all done. So like all the classes that I took were focused on theater, psychology, or business. So I took two business classes just like to fulfill like because I've recently decided to be a minor that like so I need to like take like 6 classes over 2 years. So I had to double up on them this semester. Um, I took my bridge experience, which is a Skidmore unique thing within psychology. I took I got some credit for doing psychology research, and I got some credit for working on the main stage. So that was really nice. And then I took two fun theater classes. One of them was about devising, and another was focused on acting. So that was pretty much my semester. So kind of like a good balance between my three majors and minor.
That's perfect. Well, wonderful. And I want to go back just briefly to a question earlier talking about kind of community engagement with the Skidmore community, and want to reflect about something very specific to our international student opportunities. Is that we do here at Skidmore have a program that is coordinated by our international student advisor called a Friendship Family Program, and international students are invited to the program if they wish. It's optional, and some students, as Paladin was sharing, will share, engage with their friends, kind of collectively with our friendship families. So friendship families are Skidmore faculty and staff, or people who live in the Saratoga Springs community that are affiliated with Skidmore somehow, and volunteer to be a local resource for our international students. It's not a residential hosting program. Students don't live with local families. You live on campus, but you will have a chance to just have somebody in the community that might be of extra assistance to you, or be a friendly face or a friendly member of the community. And Paladin and Katja, jump in too if you've participated a little bit in any way. But Paladin, share what you've done with some of your classmates and friendship families here.
So I personally didn't apply for it, but I didn't realize that I would still be interacting with like a couple of families downtown. So one of my closest friends on campus, she has a friendship family, and then they invite her over for like dinners, like Thanksgiving dinners. Like if you're here over the winter, some families do invite you for their Christmas dinner as well. And I interacted with that family when they came on campus. We had like a pumpkin carving thing for international students, organized by I think the Student Academic Services. So like Chloe and all, they were organizing that for the international students on campus. We had a pumpkin carving activity going on campus, and that's when I interacted with her friendship family. And then they did invite me over for a meal over the weekend. So like, there's like multiple different ways that you could still interact with like families downtown, even if you do not like, apply for the program directly. So that was like one of the ways I got to interact and know people downtown, like a family downtown.
If you were to give advice to an incoming first year student next year, would you say they should sign up for the friendship?
Definitely, definitely. It just becomes like your home away from home.
Yeah.
Like, it's like your family away from home. And they really do like, they're really like your parents in a way. Like,
Yeah.
they're giving you advices, they're checking up on you, like, making sure you're okay, invite you over for good meals. So it's like, nice to have good meals once in a while.
Exactly, exactly. Good. Well, I'm catching the time. We're right into the hour, and I respect everybody's time who's participated, and who has attended. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Paladin. Thank you, Katja, for your time today. You saw my contact information. I could share my screen again. There I am. And you'll see that. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions about Skidmore. Continue to join us for these sessions. You will be on our mailing list to be invited to more virtual opportunities over the coming months, prior to applying. And we look forward to keeping in touch. Again, Paladin and Katja, thank you very, very much. And hope everybody has a wonderful afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever this webinar finds you around the world. So thank you all very, very much.